All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly, Shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believers, Shalom to you, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So, you know, these devils, and also, you know, it's time for new management. So that's what I want to title this video. It's time for new management of the earth. Because under these devils, everything is at its lowest form. So let me start from 5 first. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Okay? Through our fall, the wicked is ruling, and the wicked have turned this earth into shit. Nothing is organic. There's no righteousness in the earth but the men of the Lord and the women that believe. That's it. So these devils and the Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that there is an end to this. Because matter of fact, I think that's Habakkuk. We in the time of this. It said, "O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I have heard your speech and I was afraid. O Yahweh, revive your work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known. In wrath, remember mercy." So it's time for the Lord to work. And when the Lord start to work, as the scripture says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. So when the Lord really start opening up a can of whoop ass, as when a woman with child, the knife might bring forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her great birth, great pains could pass her womb, which pains when the child come forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. The world shall mourn, sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So that's the day of the Lord. So these devils have to fulfill their wickedness. The Lord have opened the floodgates on these devils. And, you know, for us who are in the truth and been in it for a little bit, you know, this is our life. This is our job. We into this. We into all the conspiracy theories, which is conspiracy facts. Because the Lord said this. Then I'm going to play the video. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. All right. So these Edomites, now, you know, the people who be making these videos, you know, they call them the oligarchs. They call them the shadow government. All right. The Illuminati, all of that. Well, the scriptures called them the wicked and sometimes the rich, but majority of the time the wicked.
Oliver Schwab. He is the managing director of the World Economic Forum. His sister, Nicole, is a member of the executive committee for the World Economic Forum. In July of 2021, she said that COVID was a huge opportunity to have their great reset.
I see it as a tremendous opportunity to really to have this great reset and to use this huge flows, you know, of money, to use the increased levers that policymakers have today in a way that was not possible before.
Their father.
Now, remember also his right hand man, Yuval Noah Harari. All right, he said it too. That people will look back at 2020 and recognize that that's when, everything went digital. And as you see, they keep pushing for digital.
Klaus Schwab is the founder of the World Economic Forum. 7 years ago, he announced plans to start tracking the entire population and to merge everyone with a central machine.
And what do you think that's talking about?
What he now calls the Great Reset. The Schwab family is working together with other families because that's how Team Evil works. You can call them the Illuminati if you like, but they have no official name, and they are not illuminated. There is no telling how
They are illuminated, but they're just illuminated on the left-hand side. Because the scriptures talks about they do have a light. It said, before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness, the shadow of death. All right, as I said, it's time for new management. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and the shadow of death without any order, where their light is as darkness. So their light, they have light. They have light to do wickedness. All right. And also, I think that's Isaiah 14. I don't remember the scripture, so I gotta, oops. The hell is this? 12. It said, how are you fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, which is symbolic of right now they at the top. The earth is given into their hands. As Yahushua said in Luke 10 and 18, I beheld Satan falling from heaven like lightning, which means they're going to fall fast. That's what it's talking about. They're going to fall from their position. Son of the morning, how are you cut down? And Lucifer, that's the main point that I wanted. When you go into the Hebrew is Hayalal, and it goes into light bearer. All right. Which goes back to Illuminati. Everything's in the scriptures. So it says, how are you cut down to the ground, which did weakest the nation? So this devil brings death. Yahushua said it best, John 10 and 10. The devil cometh but not, but to kill, steal, and destroy. But I have come that you may have life and have it abundantly.
Many family bloodlines are involved, but they keep it in the family for three main reasons, and they all have to do with power. First, and most simply, as a way to gain and maintain their fortune. Secondly, is to carry out long-term secret objectives. These families use insurance companies and private trusts to protect their own fortune from the...
And that's an ancient custom anyway. And they also know about reincarnation. They also know that they'll come back through their great-great-grand. So, now you remember in the scriptures in the beginning, we kept it in the family too. So they listen, they know the scriptures. They don't know the mysteries. They probably know them now because they watch us, but they know who they are. They know who we are. And they got the money and the time. They hire archaeologists to go search all of these things out. So they know about the ancient customs. They got the records too.
Fiat debt-based system that they created, and to generate the kind of money needed for a 100-year plan. The older generation outlawed natural medicine, introduced petrochemical pharmaceutical drugs,
which make you addicted and also make you more sick, that you would have to keep on coming to get. That's why, Job said it best. It said, but ye are forgers of lies, which is a counterfeit. Ye are all physicians of no value. They don't heal, they treat. And you know what? I always think about this. So like when it comes to like mechanics and doctors, I'm pretty sure it's other professions too. But look how wicked this system is. Your whole job is based on people having to depend on you to fix things, right? So if you fix it, no more money come. So mechanics, I mean, only if you have a man of the Lord that's a mechanic. But mechanics, they're not going to fix your stuff completely. They're going to need you to come back. They're going to need this like the hospital. You know, they can't heal you. They need the hospital field. Oh, prison system. The way they get paid is if they keep it populated. You know? So like this whole, like when it said the foundation, that's the institutions. Even the institutions of this place is out of course, man. Damn devils. Oh, that's what made me, when I was watching this video, this is the first scripture that popped up actually. And that's why I said the earth needs new management. And it is going to come. So it says, because of unrighteous dealings, this whole video and everything that they do, and not just this video, just them, period. This is them. They don't have righteous dealings. There's no righteous bone in their body. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Like the man just said, Greg Grease, that's the narrator. All right. He talks about the 100-year plan. This little fake money that we got, the money that they created out of thin air, and they could just print unlimited, all right, with nothing backing it. Literally just piece of paper that's forced by the sword. People got to use it. That's the world currency, you know? But just imagine that you could just, go print $1 trillion today. Like this, boom, and it's there. That's money. So anyways, but it said the kingdom is translated from one people to another. The scripture said that Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. 2 Ezra 6:9. Also, Daniel 7:18 said that the kingdom, that we should take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever, even forever. So it says, why is earth and ashes proud? There's not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such one setteth his own soul to sell. Esau sold his birthright. Genesis 25:31. Okay? He sold his birthright and then got the audacity to act like Jacob tricked him when he already sold it 2 chapters back. Genesis 27, that's just the plot twist in the Lord's movie. That's the way that the Lord wanted to do it. Jacob had to fulfill his name, Yaquab. All right? Yaquab means it's a word that I'm looking for. Cause I always say trickster, but supplanter. There we go. Supplanter, the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Al Rashad. All right. So and that's the spirit of Jake. Can't trust Jake. All right. Only the ones who the Lord is dealing with. Scripture says in Jeremiah 9:4, don't trust every brother. So anyways, and then it says, because while he lived, he cast away his bowels. Since he is so covetous, he cast away his morals. Because when you go into bowels, it ain't talking about you using the bathroom. It's talking about your seat of emotions. He cast away his emotions to go after his covetousness. So he don't care who get caught up in the process. That's why we call Jacob's trouble the world's trouble. It's going to be a lot of casualties in that time. Okay? A lot of Edomites going to get killed in that time. His own people. His own people are suffering. When we be making videos, most of the time, the compilation, because they actually are not oblivious like Jake is. You know, Jake, they entertained by any little thing. They don't know what the hell's going on in the world, but Edomites do. So they're the ones that are complaining, recognizing that, wait a minute, this is a rat race. Jake, you know, I ain't saying all of them, but majority of them just, you know, just living. They don't know what the hell's going on.
And polluted the environment. And now the younger generation is here to fix it with their totalitarian Great Reset. It's a multi-generational plan that works because of family loyalty and also because of the third reason why they keep it in the family. Trauma-based mind control. Most victims of the CIA's trauma-based mind control program, MK Ultra, have come from families with a history of child abuse, because multi-generational child abuse makes a child more susceptible to mind.
And over the documentaries that I watched over the years, this is a fact. All right, this is literally how they are able to. Cause they said that if they can like demoralize you, sexually, then really anything, that's like the number one thing. That's why when it comes to getting into the industry, you have to do wicked sex acts, and it's all in the scriptures too. That's Wisdom of Solomon 14. But also Numbers 25. But all pure. So ain't nothing new under the sun, as the scripture says. But yeah, they like to, if they could defile you sexually, especially from young, then it's easier to manipulate you. Sex is a very powerful tool. All right. And being touched on that early when you are defenseless, and then on top of that, they're grooming you up to be a certain way, and that's why a lot of child stars end up committing suicide, and the rest is just bugged the hell out. But how much more, these wicked elite children, who've been brainwashed from the womb, they wicked anyway, because they the seed of the wicked, but everything has been exposed. Matter of fact, what is that? Psalm 64. It says, so they should make their own tongues fall upon themselves, all that see them shall flee away. So yeah, so what's been happening over the years, especially the last 10 years, a lot of whistleblowers been coming out, Edomite whistleblowers, talking about their own people, all right? To the point that, as I said at the end of the scripture, all that see them shall flee away. So the fleeing away is looking at them for who they really are. And be like, man, these people wicked as all hell. All right. You even got Edomites who acting like, because, internally they wicked, but they looking at, Edomites that's more wicked than them. Like, shit, I ain't that wicked now. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, but we the ones that's looking at them and fleeing away. Because the scripture says in Isaiah 10:20 that the elect, the remnant, should stay off of him that smote them, but then stay on Yahweh Bashim Awashai. All right, so let's get that real quick. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, such are as escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon Yahweh Bashim Awashai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. All right, so we don't look to this devil for anything like we used to before, when we was on the outside of this thing, not knowing the truth. We ain't know no better. Now we know better.
Control. And most of the characters we see as world leaders are not only actors on a stage, they are oblivious because they have suffered a lifetime of abuse and mind control. The overwhelming majority of people on Team Evil are not all in on it. They simply do as they are told. They follow orders.
And I know that's a fact because I used to ask myself, especially when I first came into the truth, how is all these people on board? Like, this is some wicked shit that, the government be doing. Even when it comes to like to the taxes, taxing people, especially in the time of the CV-19, the pandemic, it's like how they get so many people on board, to make a mandate that takes, I can't say that much, but yeah. So and then, just even like, I understand the top, I'm talking about like, mayors and governors and, just like, cause everybody don't know. And then you literally had people that, man, I wish I could say what I want to say. I can't wait. I can't wait till this shit is over with. All right. For I could just be. But anyways, Um, I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna keep it there. I got something to say, but I just know I can't say it.
Don't ask questions. These families see having children as a means of gaining power and wealth. They see their own children as property, as slaves to do the family's bidding. But perhaps
You know what? And at one point in time, man, before you came into the truth, this is the way that you used to feel. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. You know, because when you are coming up and you don't know the truth, you just looking at these devils like, damn. I remember this as a child. My dad's show was Cops. So I watched Cops as a child. And I used to see how white people, that's what I know them as back then, white people, which are Edomites, but not all white people, because ain't no such thing as white. Gotta make that, gotta make that statement because, there's a lot of carnal people out here. But anyway, but I used to watch Cops and I used to see them like going back and forth with the cops, right? Like cussing at them, literally telling them they got rights and shit. Then when a so-called black man say anything, he get tackled to the ground. And then it's like, coming up, especially in the 90s, early 90s. That's when I was a child, born in 88. So you seen all the slavery movies and you seen all the racist stuff. Literally, we were still being taught about racism back when I was in school, So you start as a child, you start be like, man, I wish I was white. Shit. It look like white people could just fucking do what the fuck they want to do. The water Yahweh Bashim Abishai, he did make me white. Didn't know no better. So anyway, so I was foolish I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. All right. Because these damn devils, they gonna pay, and there's an end for them.
perhaps it's more like a cult than a family. Nearly 1 million child orphans were distributed throughout America and the Commonwealth in the late 1800s by an...
And how much more now? Millions of children is missing every year. All this technology and surveillance, but you don't know where they at. Can't say what I want to say.
international secret society called the Odd Fellows. Delivered primarily by train, many of these orphans were born in private homes owned by the Odd Fellows and their offshoot, the Daughters of Rebecca, an all-female Masonic organization that featured symbols of mass breeding and fertility. Philip Eugene de Rothschild says that the Rothschild family alone has produced over 100,000 children in these secret breeding programs.
So yeah, they just wicked as all hell. Until I went to the sanctuary of the Most High, then understood I therein. Okay? So now, since the Lord bless us, we understand that all the wickedness that these devils have done, they're going to pay. As it says in Revelation 13:10, he that killeth with the sword shall be killed by the sword. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. All right? This is the patience and the faith of the saints. So, also Galatians 6:7, you reap what you sow. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. All right? Surely you did set them in slippery places. They don't even understand the destruction that's about to come unto them. You cast them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terror? See, man, I'm telling you. And then one of my favorite Psalms, very short one, Psalms 126, it talks about it's going to be like we was in a bad dream when he turneth again the captivity of Jacob, man. And then also Job 20, what it say, he's going to perish like his own dung. And you're going to be like, oh, what's the other one? This was he? That's in Jeremiah somewhere. This was he who had us in derision? All right. So anyways, it said, as a dream when one awaketh, so, O Yahweh, when you awakest, You shall despise their image. And what image they're trying to bring? Their new world order. All right? And they're doing it right before your eyes. They're setting up a technocracy before your eyes. They're setting up digital infrastructure before your eyes. But the Lord despises it. It's not going to come to pass fully. Okay?
Most of the U.S. presidents during this time were Freemasons. 4 of them were Oddfellows. And at last count, 34 U.S. presidents are directly related to Charlemagne, king of the Franks, who is believed by these Illuminati bloodlines to be of the Merovingian bloodline, a genetic set that they highly value. And Team Evil has always been obsessed with genetics. So it really isn't that strange to point out the similarities between Justin Trudeau and Fidel Castro, Angela Merkel and Adolf Hitler's mother, Barbara Bush and Aleister.
Now look at that. Goodness gracious. Now Aleister Crowley, that is one sick. That's like Satan himself. And look at his mama though. Good, like look at them. They look evil, especially the mama. Goodness gracious. Damn demons.
Crowley, or even Obama and Akhenaten. The only way these families and their abused mind control minions are able to control the rest of us is by dividing us.
And you see that every day with the Democrats. It's the Democrats. You see that every day, but the scripture said that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand.
And if we, the people, could change that, then we could change everything. Reporting for Info.
No, you can't. Now, because this is not a together thing. So I'm going to end it on this. When the Most High divided the nations, their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For Yahweh's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So, all right. So the point is, it's time for new management. New management is coming. These devils will pay for everything. And we're going to end it on this. Because through the whole earth is destroyed because of them. And judgment is coming. And the nations were angry. This is the reason why they're going to shoot missiles. And your wrath is come. In the time of the dead, that they shall be judged. And you shall give reward unto your service, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear your name, small and great. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So seek ye out the Lord while he may be found. And shalom.